Hi, and welcome to the Brisbane Professionals Podcast. This is a podcast brought to you by SMS Law, going through the legal secrets that will benefit you and your clients, as well as having a little bit of fun as we go. This podcast is designed to educate you on, number one, complicated legal terms that we will explain in an easy to understand manner. Two, to understand why you do things from a legal perspective in your business. And three, to help you develop a plan for the future success of your business. Our mission is to help empower small to medium-sized businesses around the world to get access to legal advice so that they can help build their communities and make the world a better place. Did you know that any business owner is on average 7 months away from losing everything? That is the average time that it takes from a successful business to fold when an aspect of their business is not set up correctly. This podcast is all about empowering you and your business with knowledge and tools to ensure that that doesn't happen to you or to your clients. Let's begin, shall we?
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Brisbane Professional Podcast. My name is Craig Mason. I'm from SMS Law, and I have with me who's going to do a big loud yippee hello, Jeremy from SMS Law. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Craig. A yippee hello. I think that would blow our listeners' heads off, so I won't do that.
Okay.
We don't want to. What if they've got the sound up all very high? We might hurt their ears.
Yeah.
So I want to look after you, the listener, to make sure that your ears are intact.
Very, very considerate. Okay, for today's show, we're considering trademarks. We're talking about registering them in particular. Do you want to touch on that, Jeremy, about what is it and does your business actually need to register it?
Yeah, so every business has some sort of trademark. So the mark or the logo that you have that you operate your business under, even if it's just the name of your business, that's a trademark. And really here we're asking the question about whether or not you need to register the trademark with the Trademarks office. So that's IP Australia in Australia, and there's other trademark offices around the world. And basically, you need to have a look at how unique is your trademark, and is it something that you want to protect because you're looking at building a business that's really based on that brand. It's getting harder and harder to register trademarks, and Craig will go through some of the things that you need to do before you register a trademark. It's getting harder and harder to register trademarks, and it's a fairly costly process, but one that if you do it right, you can actually get protection over your mark for a period of time. So if you've got something that's unique and that you really want to protect long term, then definitely go and protect it. And if there's someone else who's using a similar mark, you might find it hard to actually protect it. And that goes into Craig's point, which I'll hand over to him to talk about, is what you need to do before you register a trademark.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jeremy. So what you need to do before you start registering it is, do the search on, for instance, IP Australia. Make sure there's not already a trademark that's either the same as yours or very similar. There's a number of classes that you register a trademark in, so you've got to pick the particular classes, and it might be, and normally is more than one class. So you might be in, class 27 and also class 32. So you've got to work out exactly what classes there are. And depending on how many classes you're in, there are costs involved, obviously, for the amount that you're in. And just look at the format of, say, your logo. It's got to comply, the colours and the particular way that it's presented. Get all that sort of stuff sorted out. Best to get some advice on that before you go down that path, so you've got it all ready for registering it. And it's once you've done all that and you know all those things, it's quite an easy process from there. But you've got to do a bit of ground work beforehand, and doing the searches, working out the classes, etc., making sure it complies before you actually do the registration process. And then, Jeremy, how long does all that take?
Well, it's the great lawyer answer. It depends, and it can take anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half. It really depends. For a straightforward trademark, it can be done within 6 to 7 months. If there are other trademarks or other questions that IP Australia have, it can drag out and take longer. So it does depend on the trademark and how far you want to go registering it. However, generally, if you say 6 months for a fairly straightforward one, then that's a pretty good guide. Do you want to talk about how long a trademark lasts, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. So this a trademark lasts from 10 years from its filing date. And you can renew the trademark 12 months before the renewal is due, or up to 6 months after you'll have to pay extra fees if you've let it expire during that 6 months. For instance, IP Australia does send out a renewal reminder. So it's important to, if an address changes, that you actually update that when you register it. There's an address that you put in there for service of notices, etc. Make sure that's updated if you move your registered office, for instance, or your business address or whatever it might be, because that's where your renewal reminder will go to. Obviously, if you don't get that, you might forget. 10 years is a long time. So make sure you look out for your renewal reminder. But it is 10 years from the filing date. All right, I think that's it for trademarks. As I said, if you're looking at doing it, make sure you talk to someone and get some advice before you start registering it, because there are fees involved with the registration process, and you don't want to pay them unnecessarily. So, Jeremy, anything else you wanted to add for trademarks?
No, I think we've covered off on all the topics for that.
Excellent. All right, that is it for us today. If you haven't already, please like us on Facebook. SMS Law. Follow us on Twitter, or search for us individually on LinkedIn. Connect through those platforms, and you'll tune into some other information that we share throughout the time. And if you have enjoyed the podcast and you want everyone else to know about it, please go up to the top of the highest building and scream it out, or alternatively, rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you might be receiving it. That's it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.